Now we are going to talk about naming constant. What are the constants inside C++ programming language? So a named constant is simply a variable that it's content that the value of this variable doesn't change during the execution of your program. So it can be used in order to represent any constant value which be included inside your program, such as for example constant double tax rate or point this value. So this tax rate doesn't change, you are not going to change it during the execution of your program. And constant is number of states, dash status, that means the number of status of any country doesn't change, so you are going to define it or declare it using constant. And mostly or often the name of the constants are going to be in uppercase letters, and you can define your own constant without having interact with the memory or to resort it from a variable that is stored inside the memory by using the define preprocessor directive. So this is the format of the definition: hash define the identifier and the value. For example, the identifier is going to be the name of that constant. You are going to store this value inside it. For example, here we've got hash include iostream using namespace std. So we are going to define pi, which this is the value of pi. You know that the pi doesn't change during the execution of your program. Even the new line /n, we are going to define it using new line, and here we are going to use them double r equal radius equal to this value, and this double circle equals 2 multiplied by pi multiplied by r radius. So we are using pi right here, and we are going to print the circle. We are going to print a new line and then return the 0. This new line is going to put another line while you are printing your result or the circle. Even you can declare your constant as the same as you are declaring a normal variable, but you need to put this const in front of the the type of the variable. For example, constant double pi equals to this one. It instead of defining it here, so we can say constant car new line equals to /n. So everything is going to be the same as before, but here we have used constant instead of defining the constant variable in the preprocessor directive. Even we are having string constant, and it can be stored within a series or sum of characters all together in a constructive memory location. For example, hello is a string, any text is going to be a string, but you need to put it inside 2 double quotations, okay? And here how it is stored inside the memory. So this null terminator \0 is going to be at the end of each string. For example, we've got hello HELLO, and the \0 is going to be at the end of each string, which is called a null terminator. And you know that every string must be between 2 double quotations. So we can say a string is composed of some characters all together that put inside 2 double quotations. Here we can make difference between the character and a string constant. So a character constant is a single character that is between 2 single quotes, while the string is a series or a sequence of characters all together, and they are put inside 2 double quotes. And even a single character can be used as a string when it is between 2 double quotes. Here C is a string, while here C is a character. You need to be very accurate about those single quotes and those double quotes. Whenever you are using single quotes, that means it is a character. When it is between the two double quotes, it is called a string. In order to define a string in our program, you need to include string in the preprocessor directive, and you can define any variable which its type is string, such as string name, and then you are going to give it a value. You are going to initialize it, name equals to George, and this string must be between two double quotes. And when you are displaying the variable or the content of this variable, you are just using cout double angle bracket and the name of the variable, then semicolon. How to determine the size of a data type, or the size of the data type, or the variable. For example, we've got a double amount. This is the data type, and this one is the name of the variable. We can use size of. This is a function provided by the C++ itself in order to determine the size of the data types and even the size of the variables. Here this program gives you this text. A float is stored in these bytes. That means a float or this double is going to be stored in this amount of the memory location, which is going to be in byte, and this variable is going to be stored in this amount of bytes inside the memory. So the size of determines the size of the double and the size of the variable itself. Okay, how to assign a value to a variable. We have already discussed about that, but now we are going to repeat it. So first you need to declare the variable, and then you are going to give the variable a size. Even you can do both of them in one statement, in size equals to 5. So but here we have declared, and then we are going to give it a value, and the name of the variable appears at the left side, while the value is going to be appeared in the right side. But this one is illegal. You can't say 5 equals to the name of the variable. You always need to write down size or the name of the variable in the left side, while the value is going to be in the right side. How to initialize a variable. You are going to give an initial value to the variable when you are creating it, and you can give the value to all the variables you are creating, or some of them. For example, we are saying int length equals to 12. We have initialized length to 12, and here look, in this statement we are saying int width equals to 7, comma height equals to 5, and comma area. Look, we have initialized the height and the width, but we haven't initialized the area. So we can do that. We can initialize some of them, and you can initialize only one of them, or whatever you want. And even you can put this one in another line or in another statement. Int height equals to 5, int area, and you can do as the way you prefer. So they can be initialized in one statement or some statements altogether. A scope is it's a part of the program when this variable is used. For example, this is the scope of variable a, int a c in a. So you are going to enter a value to variable a, c in b. This is illegal. Why? Because we haven't declared b before. You need to declare a variable, then it can be used. And this is an exercise. It can be compiled or not. This one is alright, this one is alright, and this is the main function. Return 0 is alright. Look, we have said cout value, int value. No, we need to declare the value, this variable, before we are using it. So this cout must be after the int value. You need to declare the variable, then you can display it or you can use it.